Hello, John here with another first look from the Nintendo Dads. Today's first look is going to be on Issei. Now, this is a game that is developed by Sake Visual and brought to us from the publishers Ratalaika Games. Let's get into this. Doing a little quick research on this game beforehand. It appears to be a very short visual novel. Um, so I don't know how much we'll play. I'll try to keep it short. I don't want to give away the whole game, but so it looks like we got some quick options. Got some text speed options, music volume, sound volume, voice volume. You can toggle the voices on and on of who you want to hear. I think I read somewhere that this game only has English voices. The voice acting is all done in English. It's like we have a sketch gallery and a music room for later on. You can probably unlock some music and things. But let's go ahead and get started. Let's see. So, whoever said that your life flashes before your eyes when you die should be shot. Let's see. Oops, hold on a minute. I wonder if this is actually a... Oh, wait, there we go. Just hit A. Then maybe you'd see what it's really like. When you die, there are only two things. The first is sudden and terrifying realization that you are dying. The second thing is the final wish. As a person dies, there's always one last thing they wish they could do before they pass on. Sometimes it's simple as wanting to say goodbye to a loved one, but usually it's a wish full of pain and regret. It's a wish for a life lived better, an angry word taken back, or a promise kept, a wish that will never be granted. Yeah, death sucks. Every single time. But if I experienced so many, I'm kinda numb to the whole thing by now. That's not to say I'm comfortable with it, just used to it. After all, experiencing death is the story of my life. Jisei.
Calling to the one. Can you hear me? Relive my dying moments.
Our song glides the wind, the words echo, falling on deaf ears. The translation is lost and a deep void remains. The songs of mystery, the desperate lyrics unveil the wise and calling, but still no resolution.
Our voices call out to you. No one who unveils the truth. No one who senses our plight.
Words are unrest within sight.
Where am I? I blink slowly, trying to get my bearings. This place doesn't look familiar. Then again, it's been 3 years since anything has looked familiar to me. I yawn as my mind slowly clears. The room is filled with the scent of freshly ground coffee. I hear something. A machine? Steam? Right, I'm in a coffee shop in some city called Edgewater. It's my second day in this city. Judging from the empty cup on the table in front of me, I stopped here for a coffee because I was getting sleepy. And then I fall asleep. Typical. I guess even a triple shot mocha latte isn't enough to keep these eyes open these days. I wonder if I should get another one. Why not? I head over to the counter. No one else is in line since it's still afternoon. A girl at the counter grins as soon as she sees me.
Did you have a nice nap?
You saw me?
Don't worry.
You weren't snoring or anything, but I'd wipe that drool off your face if I were you.
What?
I'm kidding. You're fine.
She laughs and winks at me.
So, what can I get for you?
Ugh.
Whoa, are you okay?
Yeah.
You look like you want to hurl.
Why am I feeling this now? Shouldn't be any reason.
Hey, if you're not feeling well, the bathrooms are down that hallway.
Yeah, thanks. I grab the counter for support and stumble off in the direction she's pointing. My head is hurting even more now. If I'm feeling this sick, it can only mean one thing. Someone has died. As I walk down the hallway, I see the door to the woman's bathroom is wide open. You're kidding. I wish there were a joke. But the instant throbbing in my head tells me otherwise. Lying on the tile floor of the woman's bathroom is a corpse of a woman. I enter the restroom, gagging at the smell of the restroom's flowery perfume and disinfectant. The knife sticking out of her chest doesn't make me terribly optimistic about what I'm about to do next. I hope she died quickly, otherwise this is going to wind up being very unpleasant. I glance around quickly to make sure no one's looking before I reach forward and touch her arm. I brace myself for a sudden pain in my chest, but it never comes. I can't breathe. I try to open my mouth, but it refuses to open. Something's on my face. I want to tear it away, but someone is holding me down. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I only wish that... As my eyes open, I instinctively gasped for air. I know it wasn't actually suffocating, but still a reflex. My brain always remembers the pain of every death I experience, even though none of them are mine. I'm suddenly aware of someone staring at me from the hallway.
What did you do?
A woman is standing behind me, staring in horror at the dead body lying on the restroom floor. I didn't. Wait. I sigh and hang my head. This isn't going to end well. Then again, it never does.
Hey, kid, move away from the body.
A man strides briskly down the hallway towards me. His voice and demeanor are sharp, fluid, and commanding. Even without the uniform, it's obvious that he's some sort of man of the law. Considering what he's wearing, I'd guess police officer. Sorry, officer, I promise I didn't move anything. He looks surprised.
Officer?
Officer? Oh, you're not? Sorry, my dad was a police officer and you look kinda like him. I mean, you carry yourself in the same way.
Your dad was an officer? Which precinct?
He sounds skeptical. I guess I can't blame him. I don't remember. It was a while back, when he still lived in Los Angeles. He raised a knowing eyebrow as if he caught me in a lie, but he doesn't comment on it.
I see. Well, why don't you come with me?
Sure. I follow the officer back into the main area of the shop. The woman who first saw me is standing by one of the tables looking shaken. The only other people in the shop are the girl who works here and a guy who looks like he's in college.
Excuse me, everyone. I'd like your attention for a moment. I'm Detective Nikolai Gursky.
The detective pauses for a moment. It looks like he's trying to choose his words carefully.
Unfortunately, a dead body has just been discovered on this premises.
What? But how? I mean, who?
Unfortunately, I don't know anything about the situation yet. Because of this, I'm going to have to ask you all to stay here until the police come.
Until they come? You mean the police aren't here yet? What about you?
I'm technically not on duty right now, I just happen to be here.
I see.
If you don't mind, I'd like to speak with each of you separately for just a little bit. It'll help move the investigation along if I can start collecting information now. Is that okay?
Sure. Anything to help.
Yeah, it's okay with me.
Yes, it's fine.
What about you, kid?
It's fine with me.
Right. Then we'll start with you. Come with me, please.
Detective Gursky motions for me to follow him into the hallway away from the rest of the coffee shop. As we walk down the hallway, I can't help but stare at the body in the bathroom. Detective Gursky glances at me and gently kicks the door of the bathroom. It swings in and bounces gently off the wall, closing with a soft thud.
How are you feeling?
Fine, I guess.
You just saw a dead body and you're fine?
He frowns at me.
Never mind. Let's just start with your name.
I'd rather not say,
Why not?
because I'd rather not.
An officer of the law is asking you a question.
Then I plead the fifth.
The Fifth Amendment is only applicable to testifying under oath in a court of law or other tribunal.
Then I invoke my Miranda rights. Detective Gursky stares at me impassively. It's hard to tell what he's thinking, but I doubt he's pleased.
Fine, no name then. Why don't you tell me what happened today?
You mean about when I found the body?
Anything you think is pertinent.
Well, I came in here around noon today. I ordered a coffee, I drank it, and then I fell asleep.
You fell asleep after you drank a triple shot mocha latte?
How do you know what I drank? Detective Gursky nods at the empty cup on the table where I was sleeping.
Saw you snoozing when I came in. The mocha latte checkbox is checked off on the side of the cup, and the maroon sleeve around the cup is only used for triple shots. I am a detective, you know.
And a serious one at that. He's even reading my drinks when he's off duty. Well, I woke up about 10 minutes ago, I guess. Maybe less. Gursky glances at the clock on the wall.
So, around 2:40, you'd say?
I guess so. I was just about to get another drink when I suddenly started to feel sick.
Ah, yes. I did see you looking a little ill when you were at the counter.
The girl at the counter told me I should go to the bathroom, and when I went, I saw the body lying there.
What were you doing in the women's bathroom?
The door was already open. I saw her from the hallway.
Did you touch her?
Even if I say no, they'll probably find my prints on her anyway. Yes.
And why were you touching her?
I wanted to see if she was okay. I didn't know she was dead at the time. The detective nods understandingly, but I doubt that he believes me. Any idiot could have seen the knife in that woman's chest from at least 10 feet away.
Is there anything else you'd like to say?
There's something weird about all this, but maybe I shouldn't keep to myself, or should keep it to myself for now. So we got some options here. I think there's something suspicious about this death, or not really. So let's go with the first one. I think there's something suspicious about this death.
There's a dead woman with a knife in her chest. Suspicious goes without saying. But what makes you think this is suspicious?
Just a gut feeling.
I see. Anything else?
Nope.
Then please wait in the main area.
Sure. Detective Gursky follows me and turns to the rest of the people in the coffee shop.
Would anyone like to go next?
I'll go.
The woman raises her hand timidly and Detective Gursky nods at
Then
her.
follow me.
I sink down into one of the chairs and close my eyes. This doesn't make any sense. The woman in the restroom has a knife in her chest, no doubt. But in my vision, she was being suffocated. Then again, my vision did cut off before it finished. That woman interrupted me. I wish I could read the body again, but I'm sure I'll get caught if I even try to get close to the body. Somehow it doesn't really seem worth the risk. I guess I'll just have to approach this from a different angle. So we got some more options so we can move around, examine the room, or talk. So let's examine the room. The cafe is small and clean with a series of paintings on the walls and a display stand featuring expensive bags of coffee. To the side there's a hallway that leads to the bathrooms. There's also a kitchen in the back, but I can't see it from here. Talk. I guess you can pick which one you want to talk to. Let's talk to this woman. The girl who works at the shop is sitting a few tables away from me, staring at the ground. She looks up and notices that I'm looking in her direction.
Surreal, isn't it?
Huh?
Knowing you're in the same building as a dead body, I mean.
She smiles apologetically at me.
By the way, my name's Chance.
Chance. That sounds like such a fake name. So, some more options here. You have a rather unusual name. Do you know anything about the woman who died? Do you think the killer is still around? So let's ask her about the woman. Do you know anything about the woman who died?
Nothing comes to mind. I saw her go to the bathroom earlier, but I wasn't paying attention. Still, I think I would have recognized her if she was someone I knew.
See, more options. You have a rather unusual name. Oh, it's the same ones. Okay. So, let's ask about the killer. Do you think the killer is still around?
I sure hope not.
Chance shivers.
I don't know why he'd stick around anyway. Doesn't a murderer usually run after he kills someone?
Good point. Do you remember what time you saw her?
Maybe around 2 o'clock? I'm not sure.
What makes you think it was 2?
Well, my shift starts around then, and she came in a little bit after I did. She looked like a secretary, so I thought it was weird that she'd come during working hours.
I see. Alright, we got the last one. We'll do this. You have a rather unusual name.
I get that a lot. The truth is, I changed my name. My parents named me Bertha. That's not exactly a good name for a famous singer.
You're a famous singer?
Not yet, but I want to be. I know it's a crazy dream, but I'm willing to take the chance. That's why I chose that name. Get it? Chance? I'm pretty cheesy, huh?
Maybe not cheesy, but I think the name Bertha actually means famous. So really, you had a good name in the first place.
Really? I didn't know that. You're pretty smart.
Not particularly, I just pay attention to names and what they mean.
That's cool. I know someone just like you.
I seriously doubt that.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Detective Gursky approaches us. The woman he was speaking with trails closely behind him. As soon as she sees me, she quickly looks away.
Nope, not interrupting anything.
Then do you mind coming with me?
Not at all.
Chance waves at me before hurrying off after Detective Gursky. About earlier.
Don't touch me.
The woman glares at me, her eyes laced with disgust.
I saw what you did.
I didn't do anything. I found her like that. The woman frowns at me.
Just don't speak to me.
She sits down and folds her arms, glaring at me from across the room. I guess I should leave her alone. So, I think I'm going to stop here. I don't think this game is super long, and I don't want to go through the whole thing, but it seems like just a visual novel that's kind of murder mystery related. It's got an awkward twist to it where the protagonist feels the deaths of the people around him that die, but it seems pretty straightforward. There's an investigation going on, and he's a suspect in the murder of a woman that's in this coffee shop. So I think it's fair to say that the rest of the gameplay is probably going to be pretty similar to what we just saw. So if you're interested in finding out what happens in the murder mystery, you can go ahead and pick this game up on the 24th. I think it's $5 on the eShop. Again, this is a first look of Issei for the Nintendo Dads. Thanks for watching.